How shall we conceive of the elimination of pain from nervous sensation, or of death from the life of the body? Yet the rejection of pain is a sovereign instinct of the sensations. The rejection of death a dominant claim, inherent in the essence of our vitality. But these things present themselves to reason as instinctive aspirations, not as realizable potentialities. Yet the same law should hold throughout. The error of the practical reason is an excessive subjection to the apparent fact which it can immediately feel as real, and an insufficient courage in carrying profounder facts of potentiality to the logical conclusion. What is the realization of anterior potentiality? Present potentiality is a clue to future realization. And here potentiality exists, for the mastery of phenomena depends upon a knowledge of their causes and processes, and if we know the causes of error, sorrow, pain, death, we may labor with some hope towards their elimination, for knowledge is power and mastery. In fact, we do pursue as an ideal, so far as we may, the elimination of all these negative or adverse phenomena. Or I seek constantly to minimize the causes of error, pain, and suffering. Science, as its knowledge increases, dreams of regulating births and of indefinitely prolonging life, if not of effecting the entire conquest of death. But because we envisage only external or secondary causes, we can only think of removing them to a distance and not of eliminating the actual roots of that against which we struggle. And we are thus limited because we strive towards secondary perception, or not towards root knowledge, because we know processes of things but not their essence, or we thus arrive at a more powerful manipulation of circumstances, but not all essential control, but not at essential control. But we could grasp the essential nature and the essential cause of error, suffering, and death, we might hope to arrive at a mastery over them. We should be not relative but entire. Or we might hope even to eliminate them altogether and justify the dominant instinct of our nature by the conquest of that absolute good, bliss, knowledge, and immortality which our intuitions pursue as the true and ultimate condition of the human being. The ancient Vedanta presents us with such a solution in the conception and experience of Brahman as the one universal and essential factor of the nature of Brahman as Satchidananda. On this view, the essence of all life is the movement of a universal and immortal existence. The essence of all sensation and emotions is a play of a universal and self-existent delight in being. The essence of all thought and perception is a radiation of a universal and all-pervading truth. The essence of all activity is the progression of a universal and self-affecting good. But the play and movement embodies itself in a multiplicity of forms, a variation of tendencies, an interplay of energies. Multiplicity permits of the interference of a determinative and temporarily deformative factor. The individual ego, the nature of the ego, is the self-limitation of consciousness by a willed ignorance of the rest of its play, and its exclusive absorption as one form, one combination of tendencies, one field of movement of energies. Ego is the factor which determines the reactions of error, sorrow, pain, evil, death, for it gives these values to movements which would otherwise be represented in the right relation to one existence, bliss, truth, and good. By recovering the right relation, we may eliminate the ego-determined reactions, reducing them eventually to their true values. And this recovery can be effected by the right participation of the individual in the consciousness of the totality and in the consciousness of the transcendence which the totality represents. Into later Vedanta, Krapton arrived at fixity the idea that the limited ego is not only the cause of the dualities, but the essential condition for the existence of the universe. By getting rid of the ignorance of the ego and its resultant limitations, we do indeed eliminate the dualities, but we eliminate along with them our existence in the cosmic movement. Thus we return to the essentially evil and illusory nature of human existence and the vanity of all effort after perfection in the life of the world. A relative good linked always to its opposite is all that we can see. But if we adhere to the larger and profounder idea that the ego is only an intermediate representation of something beyond itself, we escape from this consequence and are able to apply Vedanta to fulfillment of life, or not only to escape from life. The essential cause and condition of universal existence is the Lord Ishvara, or Purusha, and occupying individual and universal forms. The limited ego is only an intermediate phenomenon of consciousness necessary for a certain line of development. Following this line, the individual can arrive at which is beyond himself that which he represents, and can yet continue to represent it no longer as an obscured and limited ego, but as the center of the divine and of the universal consciousness, embracing, idealizing, and transforming into harmony with the divine all individual determinations. We have then the manifestation of the divine conscious being in the totality of the physical nature as the foundation of human existence in the material universe. We have the emergence of that conscious being in an involved and inevitably involving life, mind, and supermind as a condition of our activities. For it is this evolution which has enabled man to appear in matter, and it is this evolution which will enable him progressively to manifest God in the body, the universal incarnation. We have an egoistic formation, the intermediate and decisive factor which allows the one to emerge as the conscious many out of that indeterminate totality, general, obscure, and formless, which we call the subconscious. Hydra Samudra, the ocean heart in things of the Rig Veda. We have the dualities of life and death, joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, truth and error, good and evil, as the first formations of egoistic consciousness, the natural and inevitable outcome of its attempt to realize unity in an artificial construction of itself exclusive of the total truth, good life and delight of being in the universe. We have the dissolution of this egoistic construction by the self-opening of the individual to the universe and to God as the means of that supreme fulfillment to which egoistic life is only a prelude, even as animal life was only a prelude to the heaven. We'll have the realization of the all in the individual by the transformation of the limited ego onto a conscious center of the divine unity and freedom at the term at which the fulfillment arrives, and we have the outflowing of the infinite and absolute existence. Truth, good and delight of being on the many in the world are the divine results towards which the cycles of our evolution move. This is the supreme birth which maternal nature holds in ourselves. Of this she strives to be Bharat.